Zach Perkis, Express Investigations Editor. We've come down to this site on Park Lane where a group of Romanian migrants who have been engaged in organised begging have been operating for 5 weeks. We've come down with the Shadow Home Secretary, Chris Philp. This is the main camp that's been here.
Yeah.
It's been here for over a month, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That spot over there is the toilet.
Oh my God. They go to the loo, they
openly defecate over there.
Yeah.
There are toilets within the area. The people that are on the car park, they said that they've been having problems because they've just been having urine and stuff just flooding down. Yeah. They would come in, demand water and get aggressive if they wouldn't give it to them. The people that are staying in this hotel, they've spoken to some of the staff there and their guests are like raging.
Are they intimidating and harassing people as well?
Well, can you hear it just now?
Yeah, they're shouting at us, yeah.
Shouting at us.
Yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
It actually started up, it was one guy that was staying here that was actually working as a delivery driver, and then this group over here.
What do you think they're doing while they're here in the UK?
Organised begging. The guy over there, we saw him in the morning relaxing on his iPhone, and then he picked up a bag, got a spot in front of Green Park Station and basically got down on his knees, kind of put a blanket over himself, changed his clothing to be...
He changed his clothes to appear impoverished.
This land is owned by TfL, so this is Sadiq Khan's
responsibility.
Yeah, he's responded to it saying it's a migration issue, but we just know that's not the case. I mean, look, here bottles just everywhere. Yeah. You know, it's
a bit of a mess, isn't it?
It's a party town.
Yeah, okay, well, should we try and talk to them, see what's going on? Good afternoon.
Guys. How are you doing?
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a Member of Parliament here in the UK. Would you like to learn a bit about what you're doing here and what's going on? How come you're living here?
Can you speak English?
Yeah? I was interested in just finding out what the story is here. How come you're living here in tents?
Go!
Take it easy. Take it easy. Whereabouts are you from originally? Romania. Romania. And do you travel? And Bulgaria. And do you travel like back and forward or stay here?
Go this black. Go black. Excuse me. Go. Black. Go.
Yeah.
Go this.
And do you have a job? Do you work? What do you do? You shouldn't be staying here, should you? Are some of the people here involved in like begging, or do they work?
You said you were looking for a job. Why have you been drinking beers? If I'm looking for a job, I'm putting the effort into that.
No.
That's why my priority would be food and looking after people. Where are you getting the money for the beer then? You are suggesting it's racist for asking questions?
Racist, no respect.
It's not racist to ask questions.
No.
You would prefer it if people didn't know what you're up to?
No respect to racist.
It's not racist to ask
Because we got
questions.
pictures of you gambling, because we got pictures of you drinking, because we got pictures of you begging. It's not racist. Don't put your hands on me. So I think you got a bit of a flavour there.
Quite aggressive.
Yeah. 5 weeks ago, they got the court order. They didn't bring in the bailiffs to clear them out. What they did instead was they embarked on outreach.
Looks like maybe finally Sadiq Khan decided to take action only after the Express exposed this and only after they got wind I was coming down. He shouldn't take the Shadow Home Secretary and the Daily Express to get them to basically do their job. What also concerns me is the government are about to change the law. They're about to repeal legislation that gives the police powers to move people on. And the government, Angela Rayner, is going to repeal that legislation imminently without putting any replacement legislation on the statute books.
No, for me, these people, it's not okay, it's racist.
It's not, honestly, it's not racist to raise issues like this.
These people,
it's not. If you're allowed to work, you should apply for a job.
Please.
The guy over there, he's been working as a delivery driver.
You have the right to work in the UK.
Yes.
You got papers.
Yes.
If you got the right to work, just apply for jobs.
No. People here, coming here, I give you food, give you money.
The British public's been helping you out, right?
Yes.
So we've left the camp now behind us, and look, the guy said to us, they're all Romanian and Bulgarian. They're coming here to engage in organised begging at a minimum, possibly worse.
I've got pictures of them gambling with wads of cash. Romanian NGOs that are involved in kind of trafficking and exploitation. And I showed them videos of this camp and photos and all the rest of it. And they were just astonished. I mean, we've met people at this site, kind of 15-year-old Romanians, and it's just like, how have you got into the UK and you're staying in a tent in central London?
I think ultimately, if they are Romanian and Bulgarian citizens, they should be returned to their country of origin. So I'll be, at some point raising this with the Home Secretary, saying that she should be exercising immigration enforcement powers.
In a highly charged moment that's sure to deepen the growing political rift over immigration enforcement, Conservative MP and Policing Minister Chris Philp took to the streets of central London to confront a makeshift encampment of what he describes as aggressive Romanian and Bulgarian migrants along Park Lane. The visit, captured on camera, shows Philp engaging directly with individuals in what has been dubbed a tent city, a cluster of tarpaulins and makeshift shelters that have reportedly become a base of operations for what local residents and Tory MPs claim is a growing network of nuisance begging, open-air gambling, and potential illegal work activity. I witnessed large wads of cash being handled in the open. These individuals are clearly not destitute. They are part of an organized criminal-style operation, Philp said, calling on the Home Office to immediately ramp up deportation efforts for any found to be in breach of immigration rules. Philp's appearance comes just days before Labour is expected to repeal sections of the 2022 Police, Crime, Sentencing and Courts Act, legislation that expanded police powers to dismantle encampments and move on individuals accused of antisocial behaviour. Labour MPs argue the law was overly broad and had been weaponized to criminalize homelessness and poverty. Philp, however, sees the repeal as proof that Labour has lost control of Britain's streets. What we're seeing is a direct consequence of Labour's softness on enforcement. If they roll back police powers, these camps will multiply, he warned. In a statement posted to social media, Philp accused the opposition of unravelling the very tools that officers need to protect the public, and called the Park Lane situation a small glimpse into the lawlessness that flourishes when deterrence vanishes. The images from Park Lane have already sparked fierce online debate. For the right, they represent the latest flashpoint in a long-running campaign to crack down on foreign nationals perceived to be abusing Britain's social safety nets or operating in legal grey zone. But Labour, aligned commentators and immigration advocates argue that Philp's approach amounts to little more than political theatre, a minister eager to shift blame for broader systemic failures onto marginalized groups, many of whom are EU citizens exercising freedom of movement rights. These are EU nationals. Under current agreements, many have the legal right to reside and work here, said Sonia Ashraf, a solicitor specializing in immigration law. The government's bluster doesn't change the fact that deportation is not a catch-all solution. Indeed, while nuisance begging and unlicensed gambling are offences under local bylaws, critics point out that allegations of working as delivery drivers or handling cash do not automatically equate to immigration fraud. Without hard evidence, deportation efforts could falter in court, particularly under human rights protections. The Park Lane controversy may also test Labour's balancing act as it seeks to contrast itself with Tory crackdown culture, without appearing dismissive of legitimate public concerns about crime, street safety, and urban disorder. Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper responded to Philp's visit by accusing the Conservatives of 12 years of failure on enforcement and border control, citing a backlog in deportation cases and dwindling frontline resources. But Labour has yet to articulate a clear position on how it would address encampments that straddle the lines between homelessness, EU mobility rights, and local criminal offences. The public is rightly frustrated, Cooper said. But let's be honest, this isn't about one tent in one park. It's about a decade of underinvestment, overpromising, and empty slogans from this government. Philp's intervention is emblematic of a broader conservative push to reclaim the political narrative on law and order as the next general election looms. With net migration figures at record highs and confidence in the Home Office faltering, Tories are doubling down on visceral imagery, tent cities, migrant boats, and viral videos of confrontation to galvanize their base. But critics warn this approach risks dehumanizing vulnerable groups and inflaming tensions. You can't tweet your way to public safety, said former Labour advisor Ayesha Hazarika, and you certainly don't build trust by shouting at tents. As Parliament prepares for yet another heated debate over police powers and immigration enforcement, one thing is clear. The crisis unfolding on Park Lane has become more than a local nuisance. It's now a political symbol, contested, polarized, and primed for exploitation on both sides of the aisle.